I redox 34. Thought I'd get a bit more close up and personal, like replying to your inquiry about why I would mention magic mushrooms in relation to this like debate about right and wrong and everything. And also aesthetically, because like videos I've been making here like tube, you know, they've all been like a bit further back. But it's a bit more personal, you know, the closer you get to the camera. Because it's really very important to me to explain, you know, because you asked a really good question that gives me opportunity to go further into, you know, why I would mention it. I mean, basically, consciousness is not understood by culture, modern culture, and what Crossmat is basically doing is trying to explore in his own way consciousness, why we think, why we do the things we do, and in order to explore that, a lot of people can get upset, and a lot of people aren't very upset with what he's talking about. Now, although what he's talking about might not be agreed with, you know, like going on about adults having sex with children and stuff like that, it's really hot. I shouldn't use that word. It's really dangerous territory. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's certain topics that cause people to really get upset, and you can see by the reactions. But I back him all the way for the freedom to do that, to talk about stuff like that. Because as I explained in the last video, that woman, you know, and I mentioned about holding the hands up to the face, some people won't look directly, they're too frightened to, you know, various reasons, too horrible to look at. They might feel a sense of being sucked into evil themselves if they look too closely at it, you know, things like that. But I'm feeling you have to, and what psychedelics do, I mean, I don't know if you've had an experience yourself, but they tend to allow a deepening of consciousness, yeah, which is very hard to describe unless you have had the experience with them, right? And that is what I was doing, basically. You know, I was thinking, you know, there's certain blocks you can have in so-called ordinary consciousness. You might think about something, but you might think about it in a certain way that as the older you get, you think about it in a rigid kind of way. Yeah, you think about it in the same pattern, or you know, the time might vary a little bit, but you think about it similarly like that. So a lot of people can get into kind of that rigid ways of thinking, and what psychedelics can do, if you used openly and like that, good setting and everything, is they change that. So you're thinking of things in different ways, in more creative ways, right? It's like you can think of the artist. I mean, I'm an artist, right? Um, and you know, you've had art, haven't you? And you've had somebody else paint something, and then you get another artist and think they're seeing it in a different way, right? And then they communicate that, and then people look at it, and at first they might be a bit disturbed, you know, like that. But eventually, it sort of clicks, and then they say, and then that might become old or whatever, or you know, somebody takes it a step further, right? Well, you know, taking magic mushrooms can give you this really deepening in experience about it, and basically that is what I mean is that my sentence, what set and setting means is that you prepare the environment you're in, right, and also your mental set, right, just that, And you know, my setting for that trip was keeping my eyes closed as much as possible, so you got going inward, and allowing myself to think of deep things like, you know, the evil and everything like that, which I did. And you know, what I found really amazing was how the synchronistic happening of that program. I mean, what were the odds of seeing that program? Me just flicking through the channels and finding this program that fitted completely in with the whole theme of what I'd set about. I didn't know what program was going to be on. You know, it wasn't on one of the main channels. It was like on the cable channel, and I never look at. I don't have that magazine with the cable channel stuff in. It was just a chance finding, you know, but really carrying on the journey that I'd set out for in the beginning, you know. And the insight from all of it was to look directly at this kind of stuff. Don't be frightened. I mean, I'm obviously going to feel fear looking at stuff like this, but carry on looking and exploring boldly, right? Because I feel that what modern societies especially does is it shies away from the deeper aspects of ourselves, and that tends to erupt into these this evil, you know, against children, against women, against other people, different colour skin, you know, you name it, you know. I mean, it's rife, you know, bullying, all the schools, you know, it's happening everywhere. And even though the society may seem very open, sex and things, it's not really. You know, there's a lot of things people don't want to discuss, a lot of taboos, you know. So that's it for now.